Chicago, Chi-Town, in the house. Oh my God. Can I just say that it's Sunday? Can I just say, oh my God? It's so amazing to join you tonight. I love you too, darling. So amazing to join you tonight. And for every speaker and to the co-chairs, and I got to give a shout out to Mayor Cruz from San Juan, Puerto Rico. She's one of our co-chairs and she's back at home, so I got to give her a shout out. Chicago, the revolution is here tonight. And we are here because you are here. We are here because the needs are here. And we are here because the opportunities are here. You know, Sister Destiny did that thing. I was back there and I told her, well, she took all my notes. And I got to shout out Tommy's Reunion Choir. Didn't they do that? They did that. As my two co-chairs, Brother Ben and Congressman Rowe, laid out why it is so important that at this momentous moment in our history, that we aim for not only half measure, but we aim for transcendence. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Chi-Town. And he came here in the 60s. And you see, this history is important. You know, there's a lot of folks out there talking about, why are you talking about his history? Why do you talk about history? I talk about history because Brother James Baldwin put it this way. He said, know from whence you came. If you know from whence you came, there is virtually nowhere that you cannot go. Our history matters. How we got here matters. So in the 1960s, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and his contemporaries, there were other folks helping the man do this work, but he recognized that in the slums of Chicago, that African American folks in this city, in this state, were treated like second-class citizens. He understood the call, the differences between the North and the South, and what was necessary to do in the North to bring nonviolent civil disobedience to this city. He understood that. And he also understood this, and I want this to be the very foundation of what I have to say here tonight. Just as I said to our sisters and brothers in Brooklyn, I say to you that the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said this. He said, the ultimate measure of a man is not where they stand in times of comfort and convenience. It is where they stand at times of challenge and controversy. The measure of a man. In Chi-Town, I say to you, as the speakers before me have laid out the measure of the man by the name of Bernard Sanders. See, where we hail from, what we come from, what we do matters. And if I might, if I may, because I am the daughter of a preacher, and today is Sunday, in the Christian tradition, it says the following: you shall know the fruit, the tree by the fruit that it bears. I am here to tell you that Senator Bernie Sanders bears good fruit, righteous fruit, the fruit of justice. Being a first-generation college graduate at the University of Chicago, he understands what the movement for civil rights, for racial justice and equality means. He was in that fight. But it's not just about what he did way back then. When some of you in this room were not even born, it is also about what he does right now in this moment with the power that he has. He could have easily, sisters and brothers, I want you to hear me, he could have easily stopped his work after the campaign in 2016, but he did not do that. This is the man who was on the front line with striking Verizon workers. This is the man who stood up with the Marriott workers. This is the man who stood up to Amazon and said, you will pay $15 an hour. This is the man who told Disney that you are not so much the happiest place on earth until you pay your workers $15 an hour. This is the man who in 2017, and I was there with him, and Brother Danny Glover was there with him, and our NAACP brother Cornell Brooks was there with him when he marched on Mississippi in Canton, Mississippi to support Nissan workers who were trying to unionize with the UAW. This is the man. The ultimate measure of a man is where he stands in times of controversy and challenge. And sisters and brothers, can I just tell you, in the early 2000s, if I may, when he was a congressman and he got word that IBM was going to cut the pensions of older voters by 50%. And he stood up with Congressman Dennis Kucinich from the great state of Ohio. And he purchased 5 shares of stock. Now, I want you to wrap your minds around this. I want you to just wrap your minds around this. A congressman from Vermont went to Cleveland, Ohio, to stand by the side of Congressman Dennis Kucinich. He wanted to speak at the stockholders' meeting, but in order to speak at the meeting, he had to purchase shares to do it, to stand up for older workers whose pensions were going to be cut in half, the ultimate measure of a man. And sisters and brothers, we got the receipts. We got all kinds of receipts. So let me just say this to you, because I'm feeling this thing. They didn't give a sister a cordless mic tonight. They said I would be all over the stage. But I just want you to wrap your minds around this. That with these hands, can you raise your hands wherever you are in this space right now? With these hands, we will transform this country. With these hands, we will have Medicare for all. With these hands, we will have college for all. With these hands, we will secure for ourselves and future generations a better life. With these hands, we will have criminal justice reform. With these hands, we will strike down the vestiges of racism and discrimination and homophobia and xenophobia. With these hands. With these hands. And to my otherly abled sisters and brothers. See, we are on assignment. And our mission is so high, we can't get over it. And our mission is so low, we can't get under it. And our mission is so wide, we can't get around it. Be we black or brown or red or white or yellow or the swirl in between, whether we be gay or straight or Jew or Gentile or no religion at all, with these hands, whether we be Muslim, Buddhist, atheist, with these hands, we deserve better, sisters and brothers. So don't let the haters fool you, because haters gonna hate. But it's all right, we got the receipts. So I want you to be committed to this thing, because Senator Sanders cannot do this without us. He is a visionary who has always seen ahead of his time. He was one of only 2 white elected officials in the entire United States of America to back the Reverend Jesse Jackson's run for President of the United States of America with these hands. We're going to do this. And see, people know that we're going to do this, so the haters going to come, but I want you to ignore them, and I want you to keep your eye on the prize. Because with these hands, we will rise. So before I bring out the man, I want you to recommit yourselves that when you leave here tonight, that you're going to do all that you can. All that you can. I want you to take on the spirit of one of my sheroes, Harriet Tubman, who said these words: if you hear the dogs barking, keep going. If you see the torches in the woods, keep going. If they're shouting after you, keep going. If you want a taste of freedom, keep going. If you want clean water, clean air, clean food, keep going. If we want a system that doesn't treat poverty as a crime, you must. If you want a better country, a better world for yourselves and future generations, you must. And if you dare to dream a bigger dream, you must. And if you know that we are in this fight together, you must. And with these hands, we will elect Senator Bernie Sanders as the next president of the United States of America.